afternoon, good evening folks, wherever you are in the world. I'm in beautiful Bali in Ubud and you can see the pool in the background. It's humid, the wet season started, and I'm here to share with you why I chose to write a beautiful memoir, Confessions of a Tantric Lawyer, a unique guide to magnetize your magical life, which is being published by Inspirational Book Writers next month, 17th of December 2023. It will be on Amazon. It will be on Kindle for 99 cents for the whole of launch week. That is until Christmas, and then after Christmas the price will go up. And if you want a hard copy, it's a soft cover. I'm happy to send it to you anywhere where you are for 33 Australian dollars, and that would be a gift wrapped special limited edition signed copy, and it will come with a beautiful personalized card and a New Year's blessing especially for you that I will channel. And my skills include reading the Akashic records of your soul, seeing your highest soul potential, and people that I've worked with just can't believe the transformations that they have gone through since they've worked with me. So this will be a small transmission that will be personalised for you. So think about that. My links will be up under the YouTube channel as soon as this is published. So that's published to YouTube. So thank you very much for joining me. And I'm very, very honoured and blessed to have had this amazing journey to actually put my story down. And my background is that I wasn't always a confident speaker. I suffered from a lot of lack of confidence, and I had a lot of trauma in my childhood. So for the first 6 years, my childhood was completely idyllic. I had everything a child could want: loving parents, a beautiful space to run around in the Adelaide Hills. It was stunning, and then things changed for me when my parents separated. So I had issues living with my father, and of course, you know, like children do, I suppressed them and went into caretaking mode towards my parents, who were fighting in the family court for custody. So I became the go-between between them. I would be the confidant and absorbed a lot of that trauma and just made out like everything was fine, there was nothing wrong, but I was actually doing things like, I think my diet basically only included carbs and lollies. I watched a lot of TV, I had a lot of freedom, I roamed the streets, so I was quite independent from a young age. I was like a latchkey kid, and that's the role that I adopted. I became a lawyer, and then I went into social justice law, and I was very good at what I did. I had a high level of intuition already, but I knew that law wasn't the whole picture. I knew that the kinds of clients I was dealing with required more skills and knowledge that I was taught at law school. So I immediately started to upskill. I studied psychology, I became a lifeline counsellor, and then I also went into some complementary therapies, and that was inspired by my mother, who had moved to Sydney, and she was training in some other modalities. So I adopted those modalities. I started to change my life. I reduced the alcohol, the pharma drugs, and I became healthier, more independent, went to the UK, became a teacher at an international school of energy healing. So that was a 6-year journey, and then a tantric healer, launching my first business in 2004. And that's a story. It's a long story. It's in my book. This is a nutshell version. So when I came back to Australia 12 years later, I went back into law, and I became a PhD candidate proposing a radical duty of care for sustainability and harmony with an Aboriginal case study, working with an Aboriginal elder who was very high profile. And I just found a lot of roadblocks with that path. I felt that there was a lot of words, but it wasn't really hitting the spot. So when COVID hit, I started to combine all the therapies that I was doing. So I would use all my skills with the Akashic records, with energy healing, with muscle testing, with the spiral kinesiology to help troubleshoot clients' emotional blocks and their fears and their doubts. And that was around being threatened with litigation, being sued, company directors, people who wanted to separate from their spouses or were making that decision and found it very tough. It was the toughest thing that they would go through in their whole lives. This kind of faced with litigation, faced with family breakups, faced with company breakups. So I would help them both with my legal skills and with all the other modalities. And this had incredible results. I was amazed at what I saw. So I really wanted to continue with my business, but I was torn because I also wanted to spend time with family in another state during the COVID lockdowns. And the situation was that legally I couldn't have moved without having a job in that other state. I had to have the job before I went there. If I was a sole business proprietor, the government would not have admitted me into the state. So I got myself a job because I'm an incredible manifester. I've known how to manifest my whole life. Whatever I need will come to me, and I have a lot of trust. So I manifested a job so that I could spend time with these 3 generations of family and do a lot of support work, a lot of my own inner healing, inner grief around, older generations that are passing on, and spending time with the younger ones. So, and I was also working on a cutting edge project including Aboriginal benefit sharing and traditional knowledge. So that was very exciting, it was very amazing, but then I also felt that the government and the situation with COVID, and there were conflicts with my own values because I haven't used pharma products for many decades, except if I am in a situation where I need to be stitched up because I've had an accident. I will allow a little bit of local anaesthetic because I know also that it will create a little more discomfort for the doctor who's doing the stitching, for example, and it just helps to ease the whole situation. So when they ask me, do I want, you must take antibiotics, you must take painkillers, I say no thank you, because I've done a lot of meditation, a lot of breath work, mind over matter. My body is an incredible healing machine. I trust that, and I have done for many decades. So when COVID hit, it was very, very challenging for me. I found myself feeling very alone and isolated amongst family, friends, colleagues. I also found that unvaxxed communities were extremely militant, and my way isn't to be militant about mandating that there has to be one way. I don't believe in that, in one size fits all. I've always worked in a niche, bespoke way with clients and with humans. We're human, we're all different. We should have the choices for our own care, for our own medical paths or health paths, whatever we choose, spiritual paths, exercise, whatever. It's about finding what works for the individual. So fast forwarding, I felt that the law had hit a roadblock. If you're Australian, you know what happened to the Voice referendum. It was very polarised. There was a lot of militancy, and there were a lot of things being said in the media that weren't true. So I felt a bit disillusioned, and then I decided to commit to writing this book, to channel all this energy into writing this book. So I did that in the workshop in June. So that was with inspirational book writers, and that was the most incredible experience. It's a fully supported process of writing the book where you are in a very, very close-knit community. So you don't feel like you're alone. There are other people with similar values also writing books who are at different stages of that process. So I can't recommend it highly enough if you're thinking about it. And it's a beautiful process. So I stepped out of Australia, out of government, out of full-time work only one short month ago, so one calendar moon, and my book launches in one calendar moon, so I'm at the halfway point. But this is just a little to give you a bit of a taste of my story, my journey, what was behind the book. If you want to know more, there's a VIP group for behind the scenes info, and the details will be shared shortly. I believe next week, because my VA is off on a long weekend now. So next week we'll get to putting all the links below, how you can get a pre-order on my book and a special gift package, how you can be part of the launch, how you can be part of the behind the scenes, and just experience a bit of a taste. I'll be putting a lot of delicious resources in there, a lot of manifestation clears. I'll be asking, what do community want? What do you want to know about law, about healing? What are your problems? What are your issues? I want to understand and know how that I can serve you, the community, my beloveds. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm going to wrap up now. I hope you have a beautiful afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are, and please do join my community. Lots of love and blessings to you.